Hey guys, as the title of the video suggests, I'm about to change the taillight on my Jaguar XF. The reason I'm doing this is because mine has a small hairline crack in it. I don't know where the crack came from, I don't know how it happened, how the damage occurred, but I'm going to change it with a good taillight. Now the taillight I'm replacing it with is one from a breaker's yard, it's not a brand new taillight. They did send me pictures of the taillight working, all the LEDs are working, so I'm pretty happy with that. And so I'm going to get to it now and show you guys how to remove your Jaguar XF taillight and replace it. So just to show you guys, here's the crack over there, and what's making the crack stand out is wax. When I wax my car, the wax has actually made the taillight stand out. So from a distance you can't really see it, but it's there. Amazingly enough, it hasn't affected the LEDs. Luckily the crack wasn't on the LED portion, it was on the incandescent turn signal bulb. I've got the replacement taillight in the trunk. I did try and clean it up a little bit, it was very dusty. As you can see, they just cut the wires on. This is what breakers yards always do. This is actually the plug that you need to unplug. There we go. So there we've got the plug off. There's a little tab over there that we need to get off, and there's another tab up here over there that we need to get off, and then we also need to undo these tabs on this trim scuff plate over here. We need to undo these little screws here. They're just little plastic things. They're not screwed in very tightly. You can see they look like they're loose, but they're not really. Uses a star screwdriver, it's pretty easy to undo. So we can actually pull the carpet back away from the taillight. So over there you've got your fuse box, but you don't have to take the cover off, you just need to take the carpet off. You actually do need your spare wheel cover out of the way, and Jaguar were kind enough to give us this little hook so we can just keep it out the way there, and then you can pry back your carpet. And as you can see, there are the two bolts over here that are holding the taillight in, and there's another bolt down there which we have to undo, and it looks to me like it's a 10, a size 10, so I'm going to grab a 10 and see. Right, so I've just stuck a 10 on here, and it definitely is a 10. So your three bolts that hold your taillight in are 10s. And once we pull the taillight away from the body, we'll be able to pull the plug off. Because as you can see, there's a grommet over there where the wiring loom goes through, and you can't unplug it just like this by pulling the carpet away. You have to pull the taillight away from the body in order to get in there. Once you get the bolts loose, you can actually just undo them with your finger like this, and you've got to be careful not to drop them into the well of your car, because the problem with that is you probably won't find the nut again. So I'm very, very careful while taking these off with my hands. So as you can see, my taillight is loose now. I can actually pull it out of the car. When you pull it away, you see there's enough play for the loom. Just unplug your loom and you're good to go. And while I got my taillight off, I'm just going to clean behind the bumper here and the body section of the car, because normally when I wash a car you can't get in there. So I got the taillight off, and isn't it weird how this angle of the car, it almost looks like a Aston Martin from this side. But you can see here, this is where your bolts go through, there and there. And I see this one's got some funny connection over there. I need to look on the back of the taillight, because that one, there should be one here too, and I think that's stuck to my old taillight. So, and I don't think the replacement taillight actually, the replacement taillight does have these gaskets on, so I don't have to worry too much about that. So you got to be careful. You must make sure you put these gaskets back, because it's going to stop water from coming into the car. So I just need to get this old one off, and there we go. Right, so using some of this polish, I've actually taken a lot of the grime and grit off the bumper here. Some of it has remained behind, but I just want to clean the edges up so that it looks nice and shiny like the rest of the car. And now I'm going to fit the replacement taillight. Right, so I've got the replacement taillight in. As you can see, no more crack here. And what I've realized, before tightening the bolts, you've got to make sure that you hold, or get somebody to help you. I'm alone here right now, but get somebody to help you to hold the taillight up, because you can see there must be a space between, a gap between the taillight and the bumper. There's a big gap there, so when you pick the taillight up and you tighten the bolts, it's going to become body flush. And you want it to be flush with the body over there. You want to lift the taillight up so that it's not touching the bumper. You don't want it to be sitting like that, otherwise you've got a huge gap over here. The gap must be closed at the top of the taillight over there, so that it's sitting nice and flush and you've got that nice gap at the bottom. If you look at the other taillight, you'll actually see there's no gap there, and then it gradually starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the taillight moves up and away from the bumper. But you can see it's flush here against the body, and this is what we want to achieve on the other side. Now, I'm not screwing it in yet. I haven't screwed it in yet, as you can see. And what I'm going to do is I just want to put my headlights on and my reverse and indicators and stuff to check that it's working. All the LEDs are working, everything's working nice, and I'm just going to reconnect my trunk light because I actually pulled the plug out behind the trunk light over here so that my battery doesn't run down. I'd recommend not pulling that, don't pull that one there, just pull the plug behind the light. Just pull that out, it's easier to undo. To get that one out is pretty difficult, not very easy. So there you go. I hope that helped many of you. If you liked the video, please subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.